Hello and welcome to the Real Insight Masterclass for tonight. I am Sophie Musumeci, the co-founder of Real Entrepreneur Mums, and I am ridiculously excited to be welcoming our guest presenter tonight, Cassandra Hili from Millennium Communications. I've personally known Cassandra for a couple of years now, and I just love that she can take that social media pain away from me and allow me to focus on what I'm good at, which is running my business. So, for those of you that don't know Cassandra, she is the chief rule breaker at Millennium Communications, one of Sydney's up-and-coming boutique PR and marketing companies dedicated to helping SMEs flourish. From starting a social media empire at just the age of 17. 17, guys, that's ridiculous. Due to her success and inspiring weight loss journey, Cassandra decided her true passion is to help businesses to get seen with her cutting-edge techniques. And Cassandra is actually one of our members in one of our Hills communities and also was our guest trainer at last year's New Heights Summit. Hey, Cass. Welcome.
Yes, hi. Thank you for letting me participate tonight and really talk to you guys about a topic about and something that I love. So thank you for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. I think when I go around to all of the different meetings and we're chatting with everyone, and social media is that kind of thing that either you get it or you have no idea. And for a lot of members, what I hear is that it can scare them because there's so much mixed information out there. Some people are saying got to post 3 days, 3 times a day, and others it's all about the hashtags, and it can be quite confusing and overwhelming. I mean, hit me up in the chat box if you would agree with me on that, right? So if you have any questions as we're going along, if you pop them in the chat box, what I'll do is at the end, I'll jump on after Cass has gone through her topic, and I will ask her your questions for you. So you're on live, which means you get your questions answered as well. So make sure you're using the chat box as we go along. I'm sure Cass will be asking questions to make sure you're getting the content. But let's get into it, Cass. So you're going to be teaching us the 7 crucial steps to mastering our social media channels. Yeah?
Yeah, that's it. My 7 that, are really, really basic, but 7 steps that a lot of business people, not even just business people, like general, like you could be an influencer, you could be a business owner, whatever it might be, a blogger, that sometimes are just forgotten about. And it's the real simple things, because everyone overcomplicates social media these days. It's the simple things that actually matter. So I'm going to take you through them, and there might be a few things where you're like, oh, that's something I haven't been doing, or oh, I haven't really thought about that. So it'll be really great just to get into it and show you the 7 crucial things that we apply to all of our clients to make sure that they succeed, or at least start getting their foot in the door into social media.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to stop share and they can see you, and you can take over and tell us a little bit more about you as well.
I will. So I've actually now got a little slideshow. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's something. Do you guys see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Perfect. All right, so I'm trying to work out a way.
Perfect. Thanks, guys, letting us know.
Okay. Where's the chat? Okay, there it is.
Awesome. Right. Thanks, guys. Yeah, they can see it.
Perfect. Okay, that's as good as I think it's going to get. All right, here we go. I can do social media, but when it comes to technology, we're not very great friends. All right, so I'm going to keep this like really straight to the point, and I'm going to make this, like I said, very simple for you guys to understand. But the first thing that I always tell people is you have to invest your time into social media, and you have to have some kind of strategy there that you can apply to your social media channels. So when it comes to your strategy, the best thing that I always tell people is to look at your competition. How are they talking? What type of content are they using? When are they posting? How are people like communicating with them? How are they engaging with them? And then there's a 90% of the time that in some way, shape or form that you can actually replicate that and put that onto your social media. But it's just about finding your flair and making it yours. Does that kind of make sense to people? So if you can, just pop it all in there and in the chat box. And yeah, so if you don't mind me asking, out of the people who have joined us tonight, do any of you actually have a strategy, or are you guys just winging it as you're going?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to say when I first started, totally winging it. Yep.
Yeah, I say about 80% of people who use social media as a way to promote their product or services are just winging it. They don't know what they're doing. But you know, yeah, okay. So you have a mix of planned posts and spontaneous. Okay, yep. So that's normal. Like, that's not something to get upset about or anything like that. Like, majority of people on social media do wing it. But what I do suggest is almost like what Renee is doing. Try and have planned posts included in your strategy and your schedule to make sure that you have some kind of strategy or some kind of communication plan put intact for what type of messages you're going to be putting out there. And then you can always have your fluffy kind of posts. So I'm going to go into aesthetic a little bit later on, but it depends on what kind of layout you're going to have. So Gina, if you don't mind me asking, what type of strategies are you implementing? So Helen says trying to do what feels right but staying consistent. Yep, so consistency is a key. I will go into a bit of debuffing some kind of myths out there. Debusting, that's the word. So talking and going into the posts and everything like that, you can post 3 times a day, twice a day, once a week, twice a week. Look, you have to kind of do what works best for you. I always tell everyone, post at least once a day. If you have the time to be posting at least twice a day, that's even better, especially on pages like Instagram that take the longest to really build. You kind of in a sense have to build up the consistency within your market, within your social media strategy. I'm just having a look at the. Okay. So when it comes to building your strategy, the biggest rule is to always have a communication plan put into place. And how you do that is you break down your weeks and then look at different topics. So obviously, depending on what kind of business you are, like with Real Entrepreneur Mums, like we spend the majority of our week promoting what events are coming up. We're heavily promoting the Accelerate Summit next month. And we're promoting what the essence of Real Entrepreneur Mums is within our strategy every single day and every single week. So what the best thing for you to do is to build a little bit of a mind map and to really figure out what are the key topics that make up your business, and then start off each topic, pulling off extra little topics that you could speak about that are going to resonate with your audience. So that goes, I believe, into my next slide. Know your key messages. So when you're thinking of those topics and you're putting them together into a plan, you basically have to figure out, what do your audience want to know about you? In marketing, there's a very simple rule. What I've been taught anyway, that whenever you want to reach out to your audience, or you want to get close to them, or if you want them to find you, or they want to find out about who you are and what you can do to improve their lives, think about this. What are they going to be typing into Google, and what are they going to be looking up, or what are they going to be seeing if you were to pop up? So what you need to do is start creating messages, whether it's through a blog post, or an Instagram post, or a Facebook post, or even a LinkedIn post. If they were to go on your website, are you going to answer that question that audience is going to be wanting to know from you? So, for example, if any of you are in, let's say, you're a personal trainer. If you're a personal trainer and somebody is looking to know more about getting healthy and fit, what could be the first thing that I could do tomorrow? They might type into Google, what could be the first thing that I do tomorrow to get myself feeling fitter and healthier? And that there is a topic that you could cover if you're a personal trainer within your social media strategy. Does that kind of make sense to everybody?
Sure does for me. So let's put it into an example. So I'm going to pick on Tony because she's on here all the time, which is awesome. So Tony owns Mr. Lid in Australia and New Zealand. So, you know, the containerware with the attached lids.
Yeah.
So what would be an example using the product? So someone's searching for...
Yeah. So in that case, if I were to put my feet into my mum's shoes, it would probably be something like, how can I find containers that where I don't lose the lid? What's an easier alternative to the Tupperware? What's a container that, or how can I? Sorry, I'm trying to think because like I'm not.
You're right there because you put in what one of your competitors are, right? Exactly.
Yes.
Tupperware alternative.
Yeah, exactly. So even if you're doing like your SEO or Google AdWords and stuff like that, you also have to kind of include like Tupperware, your competitors and the keywords. Like when I do my Google AdWords, I've got my competitors showing up just in case if somebody Googles them, at least I know I'm showing up there in the ads.
Yeah, perfect.
So you kind of need to look within your business. What I would do is get a piece of paper, or I'm very traditional when it comes to my marketing stuff. I always use paper and pen, or if you use a Google document, whatever it might be. Go and sit there, put yourself into your consumer's shoe and figure out what are they going to be looking for if they were to look for you? What type of things would they want to know about you? Are you answering that in your website? Are you answering that in your social media accounts? How do they gain information about you? And then you have to give them a reason to want to follow you. So it's a basic rule of like educate, inspire, and basically show off how you benefit other people's lives. That's like a very basic rule and fundamental type of tactic when it comes to social media. You need to be showing them how you are benefiting their lives. You need to give them a reason to want to follow you. So it could be you giving out education. You could be giving out something that's inspiring them or motivating them. At the end of the day, everyone on social media has a choice to follow you or not to follow you. And you need to, when they're looking through your feed, you need to give them a reason to follow you, to click that, yeah, I want to follow that person, or yes, I want to like that page. Does anyone have any questions?
No, that's a really good example. Jump in if you have any questions. So for instance, with Real Entrepreneur Mums, we knew that our ideal client, or the people that we knew that we could help, were looking for networking, or they were looking at BNI, or they were looking for referral groups, or things like that. So they're kind of the keywords that if they're searching for online, we should pop up. And then when they come to our website, straight away they can see that we solved that problem for them. That's what you're saying, right? Or if they come to our Facebook page, straight away, those keywords are popping out to them, which makes them stay on our page.
Exactly, correct. Like, even if it's like you're telling, say, for example, you're using a testimonial of, like, consumers love social proofing. And that's one of the reasons why we incorporate PR into our strategies, because social proofing is such an underrated usage when it comes to promoting your service or your product. Like, you have to toot your own horn and you have to really show it off and get it out there. So if you've got testimonials that you have from your clients or consumer or people that just love what you do, put them up there and explain you why they love what you do, and really prove that. Like, get that through your video content. Video content is so amazing when it comes to social media, and on the algorithm, it sits really, really well these days. So does anyone have any questions or anything that they would like me to answer? If not, just say no or yes. And if you say yes, put the question.
Or drop a comment and say, nope, this is great, keep going. Or you'll...
Any ideas for school fundraising books. So when it comes to the school fundraising books, you could always talk about like how you were saving parents money, like money. You could talk about, it's a little bit hard because I don't know the context behind your business, but that's really the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, saving time for the P&C. Save time for the P&C. They're so busy.
Yeah, time saving, money saving. Like I remember when I was back in school and uni, like buying books was like, especially at uni, like they're freaking expensive. So knowing that there was the alternative to buying ones that were already available, like it was so great. How do you get the bricks and mortar buyer to buy online? Do you mean like ones that haven't purchased from you before? Is that what that means?
Tony.
I make custom cakes, and so all my clients need to be local. Any hints on getting local clients? Yep. So I'm going to get into a couple of things like that. How about virtual assistants besides the benefit of a service? Virtual assistants are great because they can help you keep up with that consistency. You just got to be careful when you're doing it outside of Australia. There's the language barrier there.
Oh, Krista, is it? Krista owns a virtual assistant business.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. Well, look, you can talk about. I've got not a friend of mine, but a friend's friend who owns a VA company, and they basically like get testimonials of the people, of their clients, and they talk about how beneficial it's been. You can talk about topics about why a virtual assistance from a money saving point of view for small businesses. Like not everyone can hire when they're first starting out, especially in the first 5 years. So you could talk about it, how it saves you time and productivity. You could get testimonials from clients that you have. You could even go into topics about what they cover as a virtual assistant. So social media, emails, inquiry handling, all that type of stuff. I hope that answers that, Cresta. Let me know if it doesn't. People who buy and store. Okay, so you basically, as an e-commerce business, your advertising is going to be your biggest asset to that. Look, if you're going up against like people like Tupperware, you need to, yeah, exactly, Melanie. You need that social proofing. So getting those videos, getting people like testimonials, showing people how much they love it. You might need a lead funnel into getting people in. So it's like that type of stuff. I haven't really dealt with a company like yours before, so it's a bit hard. So I can't really go into it without doing competitive research. But what you could do is do a bit of a marketing, market research. Go into it and ask your consumer why do you prefer buying in store?
We're actually going to be covering this at the Accelerate Summit. So Tony, see you at the summit.
Look, there's one big thing that I can do if you're not sure where to start. Ask your consumer, what do they want to see from you? That's something that's so freaking underrated, and that's why a lot of people just go out there winging it and not getting a response. Ask your viewers, be like, what do you want to see from me on social media? Would you prefer this? Would you prefer that? Would you prefer that? How do you do that? That's where you can, if you've got an EDM, so an email database, ask them. If you've got people that are constantly purchasing from you, shoot them an email. If you've got people who are sitting there and not buying, just send them a quick message and be like, we'd just love to know, or send out a survey. And you could always do a reward for the survey. So if somebody does it, you could give them a 10% off gift voucher. You could, Instagram polls are amazing. Like that's probably one of the biggest underused assets from getting to know your consumer. When you're doing your Instagram stories, become engaging. Go into there, get the poll out, ask them questions. Yeah, they have to go yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. So they're going to interact with you regardless. So does that mark that off for everybody?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. We've got lots of yeses. Perfect.
Okay. Number 3, aesthetic. This is so important, especially if you're using Instagram as one of your biggest tools for your business. So I very much tell people that, make sure that you have brand alignment with your social medias. So keeping your logo, make sure your logo is there. Using colors that are in your brand. So like with Real Entrepreneur Mums, it's like your gold, your silver, your black, and your variety of different shades of gold and white. So we consistently use those colors. And when you go on their Instagram especially, you're going to see those colors throughout their whole entire profile. Regardless of what shift the columns are going through, you're going to see those colors and you're going to see the logo. So look at your color scheme. Is it matching what you want? So a great couple of examples is a friend of mine who has Boss Lady Events. Her logo is pink and white. So she's got the colors of pink and white going through her account. And there, you always need a flow of pictures. So don't always have like professional pictures going up there. Have, a bit of an aesthetic where you might have other kind of color, like miscellaneous type of pictures going up there as well to bring some aesthetic to your page. So I'll pop in an example here. So lady boss, girl, lady boss. If you have Instagram with you right now, if you have a look at those 2 accounts, you'll see that they have a bit of a flow within their Instagram. I can actually probably pull up, or even if you go on Real Entrepreneur Mums, that is a really great way to be able to have a really good look at what we're doing with them and how we're really sticking to their brand alignment. Because at the end of the day, I think one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that, yeah, exactly. See, she's got the pink going through it. She's got a variety of different colors and they all stick to her branding. One of the biggest things is that you got to remember that Instagram, A, is built on aesthetic, and B, your Instagram and your Facebook now are your portfolio. Whatever you're putting up there has to be a true representation of your business. And just say, you don't want to have it you don't want under quality. You want high quality. You really got to show off your product in its best light and best way, because that's going to actually improve buyers' perception. They're going to want to buy it more. Like, how many times have you seen something really nice on eBay, purchased it, got it, and it looks nothing like what was in the picture? Like, it's all happened to us. I'm not saying do that. You don't want to obviously do false advertising, but I'm saying make sure when you're putting content up there, make sure that it's really representing your business in a way that when you go onto if you were your consumer and you were going to be going onto your Instagram page, you would want to buy it. Insta stories are amazing. So with the new algorithm that came out with Instagram a couple of months ago now, so this is actually a really big tip for all of you. The more that you use your Instagram stories and the more consistent you post on Instagram, the more likely you're going to actually be seen. So the algorithm of Instagram isn't done numerically anymore. So it's not done by time. It's done by popularity now. I always suggest do both. Look, for my business account, we keep it professional and we just do like behind the scenes. When it comes to my personal account, because I'm building my personal branding up, I have both. I'm very much like, I want people to know the real me, but I also want to let them know what I'm doing. It just really depends on what type of flow you're having with your account. So I can't really say. Look, if you're like Sophie and Alison and your business is your face, that's when you would want to keep your professional and keep also your casual life in, because you have to know the people behind the camera. So that's a real personal decision that you have to make. You just have to make sure that you have some kind of, you have barriers in between casual and casual. So I would say keep it professional casual. In your Instagram stories, the more you want to keep it really engaging as well. So that's why I'm saying use your polls. It's a really great way to keep your story at the top of the feed as well. The more people that interact with them, the more likely your Insta story is going to be seen at the top. And tag where you're at, mention people in them. Utilize them the best way that you can. You can always do like behind the scenes of, say, when with the biscuits. Is that Phoebe? Is that your business? No, Jules. You can show behind the scenes of what goes into making those biscuits and those cakes. Like, at the end of the day, a lot of work goes into it. So show it off. Go in the kitchen, get a, what are they called? Those sticks that you put your camera in. I've lost my mind of thought, but a selfie stick. Yeah, use a selfie stick or something to mantle your phone on and film yourself doing it. You now have live features available. Tripod, yes, amazing, thank you. Obviously, my cold has now got into my head. Use a tripod and really use that to your advantage to show off what you do, how you do it. If, say, you are a professional service, go out there and talk about how you go about say if you're a real estate agent, how you go out there and how you go about your listings. And, you might be with a, what type of coaching do you do, Gina? Just give me a little bit of background around it and I can tell you. Life coaching for midlife women. Okay. Or financial planning. Okay, cool. So with the life coaching, you could talk about like the courses that you have. Talk about how you're benefiting lives. A really good person to look up for that is like your Melissa Ambrosini, and she was on my feed before and I can't remember. Holly. I'll grab it and I'll pop it in the bio for you. Holly, and of course now my internet being a pain. Holly. Okay, I'm gonna find it, and then when I find it, I'll show you. Just talk about your courses that you have, what you do as a coach, how you're benefiting lives. Share your tips. Like, you might have like Top Tip Tuesday, and you jump on a live at the same time every week or whatever it might be, and you talk about some of a top tip that you have for the week for women. Because like I said, at the end of the day, you have to give them a reason to stay around to follow you. So give them information about it. Put that social proofing out there. So really do that. And in terms of financial planning, tips, whoever you're targeting, whether it's millennials or parents or first home buyers, whatever it might be, or people who are saving for a holiday, whatever it could be. Like I said, it goes back into your communications plan. Like, really find those topics that you're going to talk about and talk about them, not just in your postings throughout your schedules, but jump on a live. I know, Tammy, I remember seeing some videos of you, I believe, on Facebook where you were talking about, money. I believe that was you, unless my mind is not right, but going up on Facebook or Instagram and doing a live and talking about your top tips, or your 60 seconds with Tammy, or 60 seconds to financial freedom, or whatever it could be. Or say if a topic comes up in the news or that is being spoken about for, I know first home buyers is a really big thing, talking about, how a financial planning could really benefit the lives of a millennial if they're looking to purchase their first home. So you've got to really find those topics. Who like, you've got people obviously coming to you and asking for advice. What are they asking for? Really figure that out and then answer that throughout your social media, but in a way where you're giving a little bit, but you're not giving too much. Does anyone else have any questions?
Cash, you are absolutely smashing it out of the park tonight. I think everyone would agree. Yes, absolutely. Jump in, let me know. But you are on fire, my dear. Let's keep going.
Thank you. Another underrated thing is the use of emojis. Like, use that as a way to get engagement in your whenever you're posting up. So you can't on Facebook, if you use the word tag a friend or get a friend to comment below or comment below, you're going to drop in the algorithm. Instagram, I believe they haven't changed anything like that yet. So you still probably have some time to, go tag a friend or whatever it might be. But use emojis. Make your page colorful and fun. Really show it off. People love emojis these days. So use them. There's no right or wrong way to use them unless you use, say, like the sad face and you're trying to do a really happy post. Then you might have a bit of a problem there.
Put some personality behind it. That's what you're trying to say, right? Like,
yeah.
What is your brand? You can show that through your social media. Put some personality in it.
Perfect. Exactly right. Like, if you go on my personal page, like Cassandra.Hili, look, the first thing you're going to see in my bio is that I'm too sarcastic for my own good. But I live up to that in my posts. Like, I posted up a picture the other day where I looked like a pumpkin, and I wrote in my page, I definitely have the pumpkin vibes going on. So, you kind of have to match it to your personality, because at the end of the day, if somebody is going to be coming to sit down with you and have a meeting with you, they want the real you. They don't want a misrepresentation of who you are on social media, and the next minute you're sitting down with them and you're not that person, right? You really, really have to ensure that you have personality behind your pages, so people just don't think that they're being spoken to as if they were speaking to a wall or a robot. There is a person behind that picture, so I suggest using them. So does anybody else have any questions before I move on to the next slide? Just say yes. If you say yes, put your question, then say no if you're good. And yes, Tony, I completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
I love my Insta stories. I think I post about 200 a day. Okay, maybe not that much, but close.
And you guys, with the chat box, just so you know, if you select just all panelists, that means Cass and I can only see it. You can select all panelists and attendees, and then everyone can see your comments, just so you know. Cool, Cass, let's keep going. This is great.
Fabulous. Number 4, the big one, have a budget for advertising. So, look, all businesses need a lead funnel in some kind of way, shape, or form. So if you don't know what a lead funnel is, Google might be your best friend. Look, especially with Facebook these days, you can't really get your business out there unless you have some kind of budget for advertising. With the new algorithm that came out, I believe, earlier in the year, unless I'm way too ahead of myself at the moment, the likelihood of your posts being seen, especially if you're not posting consistently and you're using the wrong words, is actually going to be quite slim, unless you've got really dedicated followers who are liking and following. It's like with Real Entrepreneur Mums, their page gets seen, their posts get seen organically because they've got people who are regularly interacting with the page. But if you don't have a lot of people there, you need to have a budget for advertising, whether it's influencer marketing, Facebook and Instagram ads. You need to have that there and prepared to use. The beauty of it is that you don't need a lot. Like for me, I use Google AdWords as my biggest form of marketing, and Instagram. Facebook, not so much. I probably only spend about $300 a month combined. A majority of that goes on Google AdWords. That's how much I budget for roughly per month, and I find that's fine for me. Like, my followers go up, I get my messages out there, I get seen, and on Google AdWords, people just have to search keywords and I pop up. It works out really well, and they get directed straight to my website. Influencer marketing is a bit of a different ball game. So Tony, this might actually be really good for you to get your product out there. So influencer marketing is when you're gifting somebody a person of interest who speaks to your audience. So Tony, you might look at mums And you might go and do some some Instagram or Facebook research behind some mums who are currently being spoken about, and you could offer them, you know, a gift for post, or some of them are large, your macro followers, you may need to pay them, but you can always negotiate that down to suit your budget. None of them say no. So all of these are really powerful. Whenever you are doing, especially your Facebook ads, have a lead funnel available. So it's like with Real Entrepreneur Mums, when they were doing their ads late last year, early this year, they had a lead funnel available, which is where you got your free pass to come and sit down in the community group. Correct?
That's right.
Perfect. And then they'd come in, they attend, and then the whole point of it was to convert. So you just got to really figure out what your lead funnel is going to look like. Like I've done a couple in the past for my business. We were looking at the social media side of it. And we gave away, you know, our top tips for Instagram, a book, an ebook, and people had to, if they wanted the book, they had to put in their details into the Facebook ad, and then they got directed into the landing page where they could get it, and then their information then got put into our EDM, and we used to send out mail outs to them once a week, keep them there in our funnel.
The lead magnet is one of your biggest pain points that you're going to solve for
correct
your client. So you're building that trust with them early up front. You're not selling to them. You're building that trust, building that credibility with them, and then you're getting them in your funnel by getting their email, so you can keep adding value, and then you can offer. So funnels are really important. Alison and I are currently building a whole new marketing funnel. Can't wait to share it with you. And we'll definitely have a topic on funnels over the next couple of months on these masterclasses.
Yeah, so funnels are really important in your marketing. Your Instagram ads, look, you could just direct it to your website. You could also have it as your landing page. You can link it in your landing page in your website. Instagram ads, look, I don't think anyone actually understands the algorithm of the Instagram ads. I've read so many different things up about it, but I just treat it the same way that I treat Facebook. Your videos are always going to be best. That's my number one rule, my number one thing with Instagram ads. Videos are amazing. Testimonial videos, 60-second videos, whatever it might be, are amazing. So that's where I'm probably going to leave this one. So I don't like getting too much into the budget and the advertising stuff, because it really varies upon business. And it really depends on what type of budget you have and what your business is. But does anyone have any questions? If not, say no. Oh, here we go. How do you know where to allocate the money for advertising? I teach Spanish for children and people that look for Spanish for children in Google. Find me. I would like to reach people that are interested in activities for children that might not have. I would like to reach people that are interested in activities for children that might not have thought about languages. Okay, Carolina. So, well, look, for me, it was through trial and error. I spent a lot of money on Facebook advertising before I started realizing that wasn't best for me. And then I got a gift voucher from Google to spend on Google AdWords, and I gave it a shot. It was $150, and I had about 4 leads come through in a matter of 3 days. So I only used maybe like half of that. So I was kind of like, oh, this is interesting. I'm going to learn more about this. Money on it. So you kind of have to figure out what works best for you. You know, I think another great thing for you would be Google AdWords is great. I think would be a really good thing for you, because a lot of parents, before they go into Facebook, they Google. Do majority of you guys Google? Like, I'm not a mum, so I can't really say as out of experience. I've only been a nanny. But before you make any decisions or anything like that, do you Google it? Yes. Okay. See there. So maybe you might need to give Google AdWords a try. Yeah, Google everything. Yeah, I'm like that. And then I go into Instagram. Google AdWords might be something that you might need to consider. And then your Facebook might be something, look, really getting heavily into the Facebook communities available for parents. You might need to consider getting a video done up Goes back to Tony's, how long should a video be? Maximum 60 seconds, 60 to 90 seconds. You might need to get a video done up where you're maybe teaching or showing off what you're doing. So think of it like, get creative with it. Have a play around with things. I think Google AdWords might be best for you, especially like I can just see it. If like my mum probably would have used Google as a form to look for stuff like that, and then would have looked at Facebook for social proofing. So that's something where you kind of just need to look at it and go, okay, like I said, go into your consumer's shoe and then figure out how they're going to look for you. Does that kind of answer that for you, Caroline? Okay, I'm going to move on to the next slide anyway. And if it doesn't, just write your message out anyway, because it could be a case where we might need to talk about it outside of this. Number 5, your content. Like I said, going back to your content. Content is everything. And then at the end of the day, what you're actually writing in your copy has to match your content, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't, then it kind of is no point of putting that content up if it doesn't match the message that you're saying. So before you post anything, before you write anything, go, is what I'm trying to communicate actually living up to this picture? And if it's no, then don't do it. If it's yes, then do it. Like I mentioned before, videos are very, very important now. It sits very well on the algorithm, especially on Facebook. Maximum of 60 seconds. Otherwise, anything beyond that, unless it's a really funny video where somebody's doing something really silly, it won't matter. People aren't going to want to be a part of it. Always make sure that your content, like we've been saying throughout the whole entire talk tonight, it resonates with your audience and you're actually hitting their pain points, not through the picture mostly, but through the copy that you're writing. How often can you, recycling is a really great thing. Every 3 months, I say every 12 weeks, because it's at the feed, down the bottom of the feed by the point, and it would have been forgotten. So like one thing that a client of mine does is that they, with their blog posts, they repost a blog post that they've written up. They change a few things about it, but then they put it back up every 6 months. They recycle their blog posts every 6 months. Obviously, like they have a lot there. They just recycle. And it keeps up with it gives them more time to be back in their business by doing that. They just have to do some edits. But it also keeps the SEO up. But it gives them time back. That's the big thing, right? Time. And I think that's where I get into the next one. Automate where you can. And make sure you're up to date. So this goes back to your strategy. Pre-plan everything. Like do it fortnightly, monthly, whatever it might be. Pre-plan your content, your copy. And make sure you have a really good understanding of what you're looking to achieve and what you're looking to communicate to your followers. From there, pre-schedule. So you can pre-schedule your ads through your ads manager. You can pre-schedule your Facebook posts through Facebook. Or you can and with Instagram, you can pre-plan it through your apps like Planner or Hootsuite. Hootsuite's amazing. I've just jumped on the Hootsuite bandwagon, and they're now a certified Facebook and Instagram affiliate. So what that means is that if you use Hootsuite to post your pictures and your content on Facebook and Instagram, it's not going to affect the algorithm at all. So even now with Hootsuite, you can even automatically schedule posts to go up. So it's not like one of those things where you have to now press the button where it's planned, but you need to download the app, and then you have to click when the schedule comes up or the alarm goes up on your phone, you post it manually. It just goes up. I struggle with Hootsuite to post to Insta. It never likes my photo sizes. Okay. You might then need to look at what other photos you're using, and you might need to compress them down. There are a lot of websites out there that can do that for you. The best thing would be is to type into Google or go on the help side of their website and look at the dimensions and the maximum pixel use that you can have in the images. I've never really had a problem with it. So unfortunately, I really can't help you there, but that would be my best case scenario. Just Google and figure out the dimension and the pixels. Keep up to date with the algorithm changes. So look, don't listen to anyone and everyone. The best thing that you could possibly do to know the algorithm changes is to go and find the press release from Facebook and Instagram. So what that means is all you have to do is type into Google, press release Instagram, press release Facebook, and all of the information that you need to know firsthand from Facebook and Instagram are going to be on their official websites under press. And that's where they're going to share with you changes, what's new, how can you be friendly with the algorithm. Because at the end of the day, what Facebook and Instagram want you to do is what they tell you to do. And that's it. There's no games to it. Like, you can listen to everybody out there, you can get misinformation and you can get really confused by it all. But what I always say is take it back to basics and just Google the press releases and see what they're actually saying. That would demyth a lot of those myths out there at the moment. Your hashtag strategy is also really important. So always have you can use up to 30 hashtags. It's a load of bull that you're hearing around about 5 to 10 hashtags. It's crap. It's not true. Instagram never came out. I know I put that out there and then I did more research and I went, oh no, this is a lie. So know your strategy when it comes to hashtags. Know your strategy when it comes to posting. Are you posting at the right times for your account? Are you posting at the time that your user is more likely going to be online to be able to actually communicate and engage with your account? And the way that you can do that is by looking at your analytics on your pages, Instagram analytics. So if you have a business page on your Instagram, which is what I suggest you do convert to, which it can be done through your settings, is going through there and then monitoring your analytics. And then you're able to know who's engaging with my page, what time are they engaging with, the percentage of your audience, if it's male or female, what's the peak day for you, what's your least peak day, where are they coming from. So make sure, especially that's a big thing, make sure that you know where your audience is coming from and they're actually coming from where you want them to come from. Otherwise, you might have a little bit of a problem. And then the last one is focus on 1 or 2 platforms and build a community. So look, there's a lot of platforms out there. And no, you don't have to use all of them. You can focus on 1, 2, or you can focus on 5. It's completely up to you, but it's just a matter of how much time you can invest. One of the big things that I suggest when it comes to building up your platforms is you want to build up a community. Just like how the Real Entrepreneur Mums has built up a community of raving fans. You need to find out what your community is going to look like. What are they going to be doing? What are you going to do that's going to actually give them loyalty? So focus on that. Don't focus on this is my follower. Focus on, no, this is my community and I need to nourish them. I need to make sure that I'm giving them something every day that is actually going to be beneficial and something that's going to inspire them and something that's actually going to make their lives a lot easier. That's probably the best way to look at it and probably the best way for me to give my last tip. Does that all make sense to everybody? Does anyone have any questions? If so, pop it in the group chat. How do I feel about advertising in groups? Look, I'm a fan of it if the group leader allows it. Like if it doesn't, I know they can be difficult and I know it can be hard, but look, if you're getting it out there, you're getting it out there. If you can get out to 12,000 people without paying $1, you might as well give it a shot. Anybody else have any questions? If not, just say no. If so, just write the question.
That's great, Cass. One of the other things, I think there's probably only a couple of people on here who aren't already a community member, is that when you're one of our community members, we also have the Social Media Love platform. So, if you're not on there every day, but you're posting on social media every day, why not? So this is a free platform that we provide you where you can really raise your social media profile. So it's free for you. It's crazy. So, drop a post in every day under the day's name. Go and comment and like on everyone else's posts. They'll do the same on yours. You'll grow your reach organically. Also, this creates social proof. There's nothing worse than, like we just said, you Google something, but then also you go and jump into the Facebook. I do. I go in and search them on Facebook, and if I find their business page and they've got great content, but no one's following them, they're not engaging with their members. It doesn't matter how many likes they might have, tens of thousands of people liking them. If they're not getting anyone commenting on what they're posting, that means they have no engagement. So by being part of the Social Media Love group, what that does is when your customers or people that are searching for your product and they find you in social media, they look at your page, they look at your content, and they see that you've got engaged following. This creates social proof. This builds trust. This is what Cass was talking about with using testimonials. It's fantastic, Sandra. So that's the second reason. So the first reason, grow your organic reach. Second reason, create social proof. They're more likely to purchase from you if they've seen that other people are liking what you're doing. And then the third thing is that it raises your profile with members from all across the country, right? And we have member after member who are winning business or getting referrals because they've built a trust or built relationships with them by posting and reading their posts and commenting on their posts every day. So get onto the Social Media Love page if you are one of our members, and if you're not, when you become a member, you can jump in onto that and we'll teach you all about it as well. But that was amazing, Cass. Did anyone have any questions while I was talking? You're practicing every day, guys. Jump in at 7 a.m. The post goes up at 7 a.m. Do the post as you're jumping out of the shower. Drop it in there. Cass, that was fantastic. Seriously, amazing. I think that we're all feeling a little bit clearer on the direction that we should be taking our social media posts, where we should be spending our money. Yes, absolutely. Raise your profile. Any last feedback, comments, or thoughts for Cass, please drop it in the box. We'd love to. I'm sure she'd love to see it. I've got heaps of notes, and I've heard Cass speak many times. Hey, Cass. Yes. But you know what? You always take something different away. So when you come from that mindset of, you know what, I've got something else to hear. Even now that you've heard that and you want to hear more, reach out to Cass. Cass, where can people get hold of you?
Either on my Facebook, which is Cassandra Hili, or you can find me on my business, which is Millennium Communications, or you can just message me through Instagram, which is cassandra.hili, Hili.
Yeah. And if you have any more questions after this, or you're looking for someone, it's all too much for you and you're kind of like, right, I know I need to do this, but I just don't have the time or the energy to invest in it, definitely hit Cass up, and her and her team are more than happy to help you. And share your wins. Like if you've taken down an action from today or some tips or whatever, and you go and put that into your business, share that on our Facebook group and tag Cass in it and let us know what you've done and the success that you've had, or jump in on that page today and share how great you thought Cass was. Like she's doing this out of the love of her heart, so we really, really are so grateful, Cass, for you for spending the time with us tonight. It's nearly 9 o'clock, guys, so we're all going to wrap up, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 more weeks. Remember, these Real Insight Masterclasses are every fortnight, so you have to be on if you want to learn about these amazing different topics that you can implement into your life and your business. So for now, I'm going to hit the hay and recover from this flu. Thank you, Cass, so much. Great to see so many of you on here tonight, and we will see you again very soon. Bye for now.